If you turned off the TV last night, you're probably not alone, but the Bills come back and surprise, surprise, it's hard to go on the road and score 40 points and lose. Baltimore did that last night, 41-40. Now, the Bills, you might recall, they lost to the LA Rams last year. That was 44-42 in Week 14. And then you have to go back to the Browns losing at the Chargers Week 5 of 2021, teams that have lost on the road scoring 40 or more points. In fact, since 2019, teams scoring 40 or more points on the road are 72-3. That was a great game last night. But if you're Baltimore, you're a Ravens fan, and you put up 40 points at Buffalo and don't win, and you don't stop them on their last few drives, your last 3 drives were punt, fumble, punt. Whew. Man, that's got to be tough in film session today when you're looking at that, because you had that game. You had it. You should have won that game. But give credit to Josh Allen for acting like an MVP last night when you needed it the most. Here he is after the game talking about the comeback.
It took everybody there. Just proud of our team for staying in it. No one on the sideline blinked. Down 15 points, whatever we were, with 5-6 minutes left, staying with it. Fans leaving, the stadium. You got to play this game for 60 minutes, and that's a really good outfit that we just played. And God willing, we take care of business how we're supposed to, and how we think we will. It's probably a team we'll see again. So they're a greatly coached team. Hats off to them for having a really good game plan. But we stuck in there, and I'm just proud of our guys.
Here's John Harbaugh, the Ravens head coach.
Very disappointing. We're just going to have to regroup and get ready to go play a long season. We got 16 games in front of us. Good football team, tough environment. Obviously, we did many good things, but we didn't play well at the end. Two big situations. The 4th down play. That's kind of a play that you don't really expect to happen. It's pretty lucky play, but they made it. Between the scrambles, Josh Allen played a great game, obviously, especially at the end. That's it. We're disappointed, but we'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't want to overreact. But then there are certain situations where you might be overreacting today. If you're a Dolphins fan, you're overreacting today. If you're a Colts fan, you might be overreacting today since they blew out the Dolphins. If you're the Lions, you don't want to overreact, even though you lost your coordinators and you're a physical team and Green Bay was more physical than you. If you're a Packer fan, you don't want to overreact because you should be good. But you're probably overreacting just a little bit because you're like, damn, Micah Parsons, we're good. Yes, Marvin.
If I'm a Packers fan, I'm already looking for flights to San Francisco in February.
Rams over the Texans. I think the Rams are really good. And if Matthew Stafford had a clean bill of health, I would have picked them to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They beat the Texans. The Texans need one of those bounce-back years because – they were darlings, and then they fell off. They tapered off a little bit. They need a bounce back. If I'm a Jets fan, I might overreact just a little bit and say, hey, okay. Now, here's the bad part. You lost to Aaron Rodgers. If you would have lost that game and Aaron Rodgers isn't the quarterback, then maybe you go, that's a moral victory. That's pretty good there. But Aaron Rodgers coming back to town, and then Rodgers was asked this question after the game.
You spoke about the meeting with Aaron Glenn on McAfee a few months ago. Beating him, is there significance in that since he basically told you to your face that he didn't think you were right for that team?
Yes, that's what he did.
So there's significance in beating him for you?
I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
Now, that's good. That was a measured, snarky response by Aaron Rodgers. And Rodgers looked really good. But if I'm a Jets fan, okay, Justin Fields, they had him passing the ball more than running the ball. The Chargers, you can overreact a little bit. You can. I'll give you permission, not that you're asking for it, but take all the time you want. And Justin Herbert, when Herbert was on the show a couple of weeks ago, we talked about why doesn't he put pressure on the defense the way Josh Allen does? And he did talk about maybe running more this year. And I said, and I brought up the Rose Bowl game when he was at Oregon. By the way, Oregon just scored again against Oklahoma State.
no.
I know.
Oh, no.
That was
Yikes.
Wow.
creepers.
Yikes. Okay, so, Justin Herbert should be putting pressure on the defense by using his legs. And he did that, and that was a big win for them. Yeah, Paulie.
There might be a couple head coaching openings in Florida in football in the next 2 months.
Yeah. Well, Mike McDaniel was already on the hot seat, and I think he was the odds-on favorite to be the first coach fired. Watching the Giants with Brian Daboll and Russell Wilson. But this is what I don't want the Giants to do. Put Jackson Dart in there right now. If Russell Wilson, is getting banged up, I don't want Jackson Dart going in there. Show a little patience. Have a succession plan. That's all. Let Russ play in September, and then put Jackson Dart in there. It's a tough schedule. They have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL. Russ didn't play well. The defense is pretty good, but I don't think Jackson Dart needs to be thrown in there. Like, I want to build up his confidence. I want him. I don't need to go in there and crush his confidence. I want to make sure that he gets an opportunity when the team is ready to play. Yeah, Paulie.
The New York Giants are at the Cowboys, host the Chiefs, host the Chargers. Then on October 5th, they are at the Saints. Is that the Jackson Dart game? Local crowd probably likes Jackson Dart a little bit, played down that way.
I don't think I want him starting on the road.
But then if it doesn't work out, the home fans aren't involved.
Yeah, but I think that they have to look at this as, he's not the savior yet. I don't think you go, oh, no, he can't play, or we're doomed. I think you're kind of doomed anyway this year, but if he's playing, I would like to have the home support. I'd rather face a better team at home than going on the road against the Saints. All right, Seton, what's the poll question from the first hour?
Well, we might as well start off Monday right. Team that had the worst weekend.
Ooh. Okay, so we're putting college and pro in there.
We could put anybody in there, I guess. Yeah,
all right.
Any team in there.
Okay.
To me, the clear favorite would be the Miami Dolphins. That was terrible.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State is most definitely in there. They got humiliated.
Lions?
I would say that was a terrible weekend.
Yeah, they weren't threatening. Green Bay was a better team and more physical team. That was surprising. And you lose both coordinators, and both coordinators go on to be head coaches, and you lose Ben Johnson from that offense, and it showed. They didn't have that creativity, I think. It was kind of vanilla, but maybe Green Bay. That's a defense-led team. It's almost like defense. Green Bay is defense and then offense, and it's usually the other way around. Yes, Eaton.
That game took place about 48 hours after you made your Super Bowl pick.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
Not good, because the Chiefs lost as well.
Yeah.
My initial two teams were going to be Green Bay or the Rams to face the Chiefs. And I just, as much as I want another team in there, or Buffalo to get a chance in there, or even the Ravens to go, it's just hard to go against the Chiefs. And I took the probably easy way out to go. I'll go Lions in this situation. But I am rooting for that storyline too. Yes, Eaton.
Do you want us to find a loophole for you to...
No.
Okay.
No. Because really, the Rams are the team that I wanted to pick. I love the Rams this year. Matthew Stafford, part of my hot take was going to be Jimmy Garoppolo leads the Rams to a Super Bowl victory.
Oh, my God.
That's where I was going to go.
What year is it?
Exactly. But this wasn't going to be my hot take. It was going to be my real take, that Garoppolo will lead the Rams to a Super Bowl win. Now, it's only, I don't want to overreact, week one. The Chiefs will be the Chiefs. They'll bounce back. And give credit to the Chargers. They played great. The Lions just didn't look threatening. They didn't look physical. And, Micah Parsons, that's a big, emotional boost for them. Yes, Todd.
For the poll question, is there any room for Clemson in victory? Early third quarter, losing to Troy 16-3 and had to bounce back to win 27-16.
Oh, yeah, Paul.
I'd like to jump on that. The Bengals are a couple points away from being on the hour one poll question. They got beat in the second half by the Browns.
Yeah.
They escaped.
I thought the Browns were going to win the game, starting the game. Just because, why not? You know, and here are the Bengals always slow out of the gate. They didn't look good. Browns should have won that game. Tonight, Vikings at the Bears. This is one of those games that if the Bears win, now all of a sudden you look at that division and you go, this is top to bottom the best division. And it might be the best division in football, but we're waiting for the Bears to graduate. We're waiting for them to be a contender. I thought they were going to be a playoff team last year. Now you got a new coach in there. Now you got a coach who's going to coach up Caleb Williams. Now he's going to be the guy in his ear going, you got this amount of time, get rid of the ball or, take a sack or dump it. Whatever it's going to be, your clock has got to be going. I saw this with Cam Ward. This is what happens with rookie quarterbacks, even second-year quarterbacks, holding on to the ball too long. Because when you're at incarnate word, you're able to hold on to the ball a little bit longer. Even at Miami, a little bit longer. Not in the NFL. And this is what happens with young quarterbacks. And you saw that with Cam Ward. And I did watch a little bit of Jacksonville. I just wanted to see how they were going to use Travis Hunter. And what was surprising, he was on 42 offensive plays. He played defense on 6 plays. Because coming out of the draft, even going into the draft, he was going to be a surefire, great cornerback. And he was going to be a situational wide receiver. That's what we have been led to believe. Even my friend who's a scout said he should be playing, predominantly on defense and then bring him in, situations. That's not the case. 42 plays on offense, and he had 6 catches. But then now, Jacksonville needs offense, and you just took the offensive coordinator from Tampa Bay. You should be better offensively, and they might be saying, and Travis at the end looked great. So maybe that's what hey, let's lead with our offense here. And, maybe not as much defense here. Yeah, Paulie.
I went back and looked this morning at a bunch of different draft profiles of Travis Hunter, and they lean the opposite way, like you were saying, that it'd be mostly defense and more worked in the offense here and there. It seems to be the opposite. Yeah.
But, the new head coach might be saying, I can't waste that talent just on defense. I got to have him on offense. I have to have him help everybody here, including my quarterback, who, we paid as a franchise quarterback here. And I think maybe that's where they're leaning here. But by all accounts, it felt like, hey, he's a lockdown corner. He can be great at that position. He's learning to be a wide receiver. I mean, he's got that much talent. You got to have him. Body language, by the way. Malik Neighbors with his head coach, Brian Dable on the sideline. Now, I know these moments happen. Tyreek Hill on the sidelines, losing to the Colts. I think one of my hot takes was he won't be on the team by the trade deadline. I just can't imagine. Can't imagine that if it's going to go this way, and I know this is it could even go well, and I don't know if he'll still be on the team. But that was one of those where you go, okay, I think the Colts are better than what people will give them credit for, and maybe a playoff team. But I think we all thought the Dolphins would put up points. You got Tua and Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and okay, but you got nothing, zilch out of that.